Hello, everybody. Welcome to a live broadcast tonight, Pony Express Broadcast Network. Dusting off the old equipment, coming out here to open wheel for amateurs, round number 4, live at Hockenheim. Joining me in the booth, Sean Adkins. Sean, how you doing tonight?
Good, brother. How are you doing? Are you excited?
Oh man, I was not excited about racing. I'm even less excited about broadcasting this race. But
This is
it's
going to be a good time.
it's been a couple years. I spent a year solid broadcasting NR 2003 like 5 nights a week. It was long and grueling, and I hung it up. But now we're here. Pony Express Sim Racing has grown hugely this year. 4 series on 3 different nights, and we find ourselves in need potentially of a broadcaster for Friday night's NASCAR for amateurs, and I figured I would dust some things off and see how it goes. And so here we are.
And then you roped me into it. Yeah, last minute. Hey, man, what are you doing tonight?
doing a doing a test run here at Hockenheim. Anyways, so open wheel for amateurs. If you're new, well, obviously you're new. We've never had this series broadcast. So if you're watching, you haven't seen this before. Open wheel for amateurs is our Monday night series. Fixed setups, 2500 IR and below, using the Dallara F3 car. Me and Sean both ran one season of this already. This is season 2. Taylor Reeder was our season 1 champion. And he's currently leading the points this season as well through 3 rounds.
Whew.
What are your thoughts on this Dallara F3 car?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a fun car to drive, right? It's both forgiving and yet very much not forgiving at the same time. It's easy to overdrive, but if you get it right, she will definitely reward you with some really fun exits out of corners. There's the way the car is planted. It's just, for us especially, right? Coming from the GT world, running these kind of cars, it's a breath of fresh air getting this much downforce. But obviously you're not dealing with the same amount of horsepower we would in, say, an F1 car. So it kind of gives us that good starting point, right, of a good platform for an amateur beginner to start with who maybe has never gotten into open wheel, or even those who have dabbled in a little bit from here and there. But yeah, it's just a fun car to drive, man. If you drive it right, you don't overuse the brakes, and you let the car really bite off the corner, man, it's so much fun to drive.
And these are fixed setups. We limit fuel to 40%. And the way the format works on these Monday night events, we run a 30-minute heat race where drivers will have to do a green flag pit stop because of that 40% fuel limit. And then we go heat number 2, also another 30-minute heat, but we invert the field. So whoever wins this first heat is going to have to come from 12th, 13th place in the second heat. It really adds a twist to how this series works.
Yeah, and I think, it's interesting because I think we all expected that it would be much harder than it's been. Not to say that the guys who've been in the back have immediately shot to the front. In fact, it's quite opposite, right? We've actually seen a lot of good competition from some of the guys who may have had an incident in the first race. And we've had them, leading laps. But what we've seen is that the guys who are fast at start in the back, though, they can still make their way through and get a good finish, if not the win, right, in a lot of these races.
Yeah, it's tough. I know. I mean, and we've seen some overall event winners. Just as an example, I think Stephen Thompson won an overall event by finishing like 3rd in the first heat and 5th in the second heat, just because it's so hard for that heat winner to back it up in the second heat. So you can go 3-5 or whatever and still come out of here as the overall event winner.
Yeah, absolutely, right. That's the cool thing about it, is it does foster competition, It fosters, that keeping the field close, just so that it's not blown out after the first 3 races or the first 3 weeks.
So far, it looks like we've got 14 cars in tonight's race. David Lehman up there on the top of the board currently. Dennis Diaz, Brad Mccoombs rounding out the top 3. Hockenheim, new track to iRacing, obviously in Germany. We hit it up in our Wednesday night Endurance for Amateurs series the first season that it was out. It didn't go well for me. What?
And by proxy, nor did it go well for me either.
Yeah, I know I ran into you a couple times. I was like a ping pong ball in that race. It's just I don't have any experience on Hockenheim, but I did. Even though it didn't go well in the endurance series, I knew it would probably be a fun track to do with these F3 cars.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's made for it, but boy, it sure seems like it's kind of made for it, right? Just some of the corners and the way they lay out. Yeah, absolutely. If you get that little bit extra bite in the downforce, man, you can just fling them right around. But I would argue that it was actually fun. It was a lot of fun in the GT cars. I'm looking forward to when we return in those cars to that track. I don't know if we ever will, but if we do, I'm looking forward to it.
We'll probably get there eventually. I don't know when, but we'll see. And if you're tuning in for this race, immediately following this broadcast, this race, we have our other Monday night series, the Pony Express Pro 4s. That is also a live broadcast series done by professionals on Extreme Sim TV. I'll be racing in that one. I'll be as far away from the booth as I can get. But yeah, definitely be sure to check that out on Extreme Sim TV tonight. And then Wednesday night, like we said, our Endurance for Amateurs series. That is also a live broadcast. That's also done by professionals over on Esports Broadcast Network. And then yeah, Friday night, race number 1 this Friday night will be in the truck series. We'll be heading to Atlanta, and I should be in the booth again, broadcasting that one live here on Pony Express Broadcast Network.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be in that race. I'm with Zach. I've really been kind of looking forward to having that oval series, but past few weeks it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, trucks. So I'm an oval guy. I don't know if I can say that since I've been away from oval for so long. But
yeah, but you and I are a lot the same. We kind of came from that NASCAR racing 2003 background.
Yes. And I've always been an oval guy. I'm probably better at it than road. And in my opinion, on iRacing, that is one of the best vehicle track combos is trucks at Atlanta. It's a lot of fun. It's a little tricky. And Atlanta, it's like sandpaper. It's going to chew your tires up.
Yep. So if you're not taking care of them, and you overdrive the truck and just being aggressive to get those few extra tenths, boy, it's going to hurt you in the long run.
One other thing I want to point out about this series here, the open wheel for amateurs, these guys do have a fast repair, one fast repair per heat race, if anything happens, which it's sim racing, it does. None of us are professionals. And what was I going to say? Yeah, now I forget.
Fast repair, one pit stop. You don't have to take tires.
Yeah, so these things take a while to heat these tires up. So I would actually recommend not taking tires because you're going to pay for having cold tires on there.
Yeah, that seems to be the strategy we've seen week in and week out as well. Because even though you can change a set of tires on these cars really quickly, they're just not getting the wear that would really require you to change them mid-race to keep up with the lap times.
Oh, standing starts.
Yes.
That's where I was going to head. We do standing starts in this series. It's been tricky. We've had a lot of good standing starts. We have had some misfortune on them as well, but they've gone well enough that we've kept them around this is the 14th race
Yeah.
in this series, so they're still here. We'll see if how long they stick around, but they do exist. 2.5 minutes to go in practice, real quick. I'm looking at the number 5 car here tonight. You guys are probably used to seeing this guy. Well, not seeing him. You're probably used to hearing him on our Wednesday night broadcast.
Yep.
Sam Cooper Bennett was the owner of ESBN. He recently sold the business and stepped out of the broadcast booth, and he's going to be doing some racing with us. And this is his first race on Monday nights in the F3 car, so we're glad to have him here and look forward to seeing what he can do.
And he definitely didn't have the debut in E4A that he was looking for, not through, from what I remember, much fault of his own. But a lot of us were dealing with that, right? Hot, slick track on Wednesday night. So he's definitely going to be looking to have a better performance this evening.
Yeah. New top 3. It looks like Steve Rubens in the 704 car has moved up to 3rd place. He finished in 3rd. He finished in 3rd last season. Last season it was Taylor Reeder, Steve Ritters, and Steve Rubens were the top 3 in the points last season. And then we've got 2-time defending GTE champ Dennis Diaz now trying his hand at running a full season of the open wheels here, trying to see if he can't knock off Taylor Reeders and get another championship under his belt.
Yeah, he's looking to continue his dominance. I think someone wanted to challenge him, and he said, "Okay, all right, I'll take it." And he's come out here, and he's done really kind of the same thing he's done even over at E4A. He puts down consistent, fast lap times, and just doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. You know, we did see him make one the week before, at Okayama, unfortunately. But yeah, just always a tough guy to run against because he's fast and he's consistent.
Looks like we have I see a new guy, Chris Fearon, in the 209. I don't think I've seen him before.
A solid lap with the 33.9.
Yep. There we go. I was just about to mention Taylor Reeder not looking so quick in practice as he jumps up to the 4th spot. That
right
is
at the end.
Yeah, right. Last lap. So practice is over. These guys are going to head to a 10-minute qualifying session. We're going to head to our invocation and national anthem, and we will be back at the end of qual in just a couple minutes.
Welcome to another Pony Express broadcast by Mark Dillon Jr. Let us start this show by bowing our heads for a quick prayer. Thank you, Lord, for another day of doing what we love. For this gathering of sim racers, and for the chance to pretend to be real race car drivers. We ask that you watch over these sim racers and their families as they gather together to enjoy the hobby of sim racing. May their spouses and children enjoy dinner, bath times, Netflix, and bedtime stories without them. May their calibration stay true, their racing rigs hold together, and their connections stay strong. May they treat each other with respect, avoid bogus black flags, and nail some green flag pit stops. May they return every night to see their friends and teammates, to click drive one more time, and to partake in the camaraderie that comes with being a part of the sim racing community. Father, We also ask that you guide and protect our veterans and their families as they make sacrifices so that we are able to spend a few hours in front of our computers trying to be like the king or the intimidator. And lastly, may we all have fun, win or lose, in your name. Amen. Now please rise and remove your hats as we join a fellow sim racer for his version of the Star Spangled Banner on guitar.
And we are back. Thanks to my old buddy Milt for tonight's invocation. And that was an actual sim racer buddy of mine from a few years ago who laid down and recorded the national anthem on his guitar for me. So that's all original content there.
Nice.
Um,
And as we've been away with that, I've been watching David Lehman lay down a lap, and boy, he laid a pretty good one down. Oh, his second one hit a 32.6, 32.7.
yeah, it looks like most of these guys got their first lap in. Now we're seeing their second lap times pop up. Oh, look at that. Mackenzie Johnson ahead of Dennis Diaz.
Ooh, by 5 100ths?
Oh, and then here goes our points leader. Taylor Reeder jumps up to P2. Um, yeah, qualifying 10 minutes. We give these guys 10 minutes to do 2 laps. It doesn't take 10 minutes, but that gives us time for our invocation and our national anthem. You know, stretch our legs, get a drink, get ready for this first 30-minute heat race.
Yep, so I'm not driving tonight. So tonight we're going to have an Amberbach while we're watching this action.
There you go. I'm drinking a Smart Water. I'm just trying to make sure that my throat doesn't get too dry. I'm not a big talker, so doing this, I got. This is about the only time I drink water.
And folks, I can attest to that. Probably the two guys that speak the least on Discord during a race are in the booth.
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, I could spend all night going down memory lane and tell you how I got into broadcasting back in the day,
Yep.
and how it went and why I walked away from it, and yeah, That's a whole long story that our viewers definitely aren't here to listen to. They they, they want to see some racing, and luckily here in about 3 more minutes we're gonna get to that. My guess is most people have gotten their 2 laps in, and so I think it's gonna be David Lehman on the pole with Taylor Reeder sitting next to him. Steve Rubens and Mac Nito going to be making up row 2. Dennis Diaz, Brad Mccoombs, row 3. Steven Thompson, Andrew Neary back down row 4. You're going to have Zach, our series admin for this series. Obviously, shout out to him for taking care of admin duties tonight while we're up here playing in the booth. He'll be back there with Chris Fearon next to him. Then you'll have one of our teammates, Scott Herwit, back there next to Kelly Boucher. Zachary Maxon. Then you see me, but obviously I'm not racing. So then it looks like Sam Cooper Bennett and Tony Watson will be starting in the rear.
Yeah, it was interesting. I expected to see both Tony and Zachary Maxon take a lap for qual, but I didn't see Zachary even in his car, and it looks like Tony's just stopped at the exit of pit road.
Yeah.
They put in good times in practice. I just real surprised.
Yeah, Tony. I could be wrong. I don't know everything. I think Tony he actually missed the first 3 weeks of this season. But glad to have Tony back, and perhaps that's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
He's not in the points currently. He's missed a few weeks. Maybe he figures he'll start in the rear and try to knock some rust off before getting up there. And not going to trade a lot of paint with anybody in this series, that's for sure.
No, these cars are fragile, if nothing else. But that's the thing I'll say about Tony. He is the definition of a gentleman driver. He's competitive. He will pass you, and he'll put the pressure on you. But he never. I don't know that I've ever seen him make a major mistake to where it's really ruined somebody else's race. He's just very good about. He'll let people go, and he won't get in the middle of things if there's other cars battling, say in another class. Just a really great driver.
Absolutely. Tony's a solid guy. Me and Zach did the 24 hours of Nürburgring with Tony and Brad, and yeah, Tony. We each ran approximately 6 hours in that race.